All right, let's talk about Bryce Young, who prior to playing the Falcons at Atlanta, only had one game on the season where he had over 200 yards passing. That was against Arizona when they trailed for just about the entire game. He had 448 yards passing in this game, a passer rating of 123.2, 3 touchdowns, no picks. So it wasn't like he was just being reckless or anything like that. What happened here? Honestly, Bryce Young played really well in this game, and I think that his numbers don't always tell the full story with him. I think he's had better games that just, and also he's had games where like an 199-yard game and a 198-yard game, so he's nearly had 200 a couple more times. But how did he manage to have such a good game in this one? Well, let's get into it. First, let's talk about a play like this, which is exactly what got Bryce Young drafted first overall. You see several routes trying to get over the middle here, right? Bryce Young's going to take the snap, and he's going to start off looking towards his left. And one of two things is happening. Either he's, in this route, actually put the wrong one on the screen. It's cutting more towards the bottom of the screen. So you see the angle is going to be a little bit tough for him to make the throw. One of two things is happening. Either he's just, looking at that, doesn't love what he sees, or he was never actually planning on throwing it there either. But either way, it's a good play from Young, because watch what he's going to do from here. Watching them work back towards the right, makes a nice throw, tough catch, but nice grab there. Young had to throw it to where the window was, so that's why it was a little bit tougher of a catch. But really good stuff there from Bryce Young to just see the field. That's why he was drafted first overall, is because of, in many ways, his field vision, and he was able to show it off on that play. Also, this one, which is a 4th down and 2 situation, so you have right here, it's going to be a designed rollout towards the bottom of the screen. And again, 4th and 2, important play here early on in the game. They're kind of in no man's land, don't want to try a 59-yard field goal. So Bryce Young takes the snap, runs the play action, rolls out towards the bottom of the screen, and very early on in this play, Xavier Legette is starting to get open, which, by the way, Xavier Legette's kind of become a player for this Panthers team, a guy who really struggled out of the gate early on in his career. He's still been inconsistent, but he had a 90-yard performance against the Jets, had 83 yards in this game. Still has had some games where he hasn't done a lot this season, but showing more this season, at least having those types of games. Here he is open. Part of this is just scheme on this one. But for Bryce Young, it's difficult because it's open right now. But usually you actually want this play to develop a little bit longer, let him kind of fully get his shoulders square. Here he can't, and you're in a weird position where if you wait too long, the window will close. So watch as Young, he just quickly turns, fires, makes the throw. Legette makes a nice catch and picks up some yards after the catch. Big gain on a 4th and 2 when you have been fine with just the 2 yards. You've been thrilled with 2 yards. Instead, it's a lot more than that. So good stuff there. Also heading over here, part of it was just like Ted McMillan, who's just had such a good rookie season. Like, again, I think really should be possibly like the favorite for offensive rookie of the year. Certainly, in the conversation, you would think with the kind of rookie season the guy's had, 748 yards this season. It's actually slightly more than Emeka Egbuka's 717, and considering the offenses those two guys are in, like I think he's been incredible, and he was great in this game. You see on this play, kind of a one-on-one matchup. It's zone coverage, but it's really a one-on-one matchup here. And watch how when Young takes a snap, runs a play action, you see, McMillan fakes that was going over the middle. When he cuts back towards the top of the screen, he's such a good route runner, and that's really what it comes down to. He is so open here. Watch as Young's throws on to money. McMillan makes the grab, able to pick up a big gain. Really good stuff there from McMillan. And he does this consistently. I mean, he's a really good wide receiver that consistently gets open. But also, like, cycling back to Xavier Legette, I mean, like, this play, it's a, one-on-one matchup with him going down the field. It's essentially a one-on-one matchup. And again, game situation. They're down 11 early in the third quarter, but still, they kind of need to start making plays down the field. The offense has not done a ton to start this game. They really need to push the ball down the field, which is part of why the passing attack kind of exploded. Again, you see Young, 160 yards, 14 for 18. That's good for a first half, but and it's a little bit more than the first half at this point. But still, they would start pushing the ball down the field more. Young's going to take the snap. Legette kind of does a little bit of a fake as though he's going more over the middle, just a little bit of a fake. And because of that, you see that he is open down the field right here. So this is what you want to see from from the guy you drafted in the second round. He was, he ran a high 4.3, so like you have that. He's a 4.3 guy. You think that he'd be able to do this more. He's doing it here. And also look at this throw from Young. Great catch from Leggett. And again, if he's a true number 2 receiver, if that can happen, which he has done at times this season, not consistently, but at times, I do think that changes the way that you view this Panthers offense with a number 1 and number 2. McMillan's definitely a number 1. Like you now have a decent passing attack here. And if you have a decent passing attack with the running game and the defense, this is just a good team. And also like something like this, where again, you have those 2 guys playing well. Well, now this means that you can kind of attack, other weaker defenders if you want to, or just something like this, where you have a over the middle route on a 1st down and 10, one-on-one matchup. Watch as when Bryce Young takes the snap. This is going to be, first off, great pocket navigation from Young, right? Staying in the pocket, but moving around in it to make sure that he can get this throw off. It's Jalen Coker who is running this route. It is not wide open by any stretch of the imagination, but look at that throw from Bryce Young. They're able to pick up a big completion, and again, these long completions down the field. This is what set up that Xavier Leggett touchdown. It's good stuff by Young, good stuff by this receiving core, which is not something we'd have been saying a lot this season. It just isn't. Also, this next play, so this time the Panthers are now down 5. It's a 2nd down and 15, though, and it would be a long field goal from here on top of it. You'd like to at least get 3 here. Of course, you'd like to take the lead, but you'd at least like to get 3 here. Bryce Young takes the snap, looks over, and there's a bit of a running lane for him right here. Young's not afraid to, move while keeping his eyes downfield. In fact, watch his eyes as he's going to navigate here. Just watch his head. Watch how he keeps looking the entire way. He is looking for something to get open, and now Xavier Leggett is the one who gets open. And he looks down the field and says, there is room to run. Watch him do a nice job in open space, and just like that, they're able to get inside the 20, pick up a 1st down on a 2nd down and 15. So that's Bryce Young figuring out a way to make something happen. That's not the play call working. That's not the receiving core working. That's Bryce Young working. This one, another one where it's, again, they're at the 12-yard line right here, but it's 3rd down and goal, down 5 points. I mean, it's a tough situation. You only have 1 timeout. They can't turn the ball over here. If they don't gain any yards, they still have to go for it. If they lose 10 yards, they still have to go for it here, right? This is the game, essentially. So really important play. They need to at least get something. Bryce Young takes the snap, looks towards his right. I don't think this play was designed to go towards the end zone here, but there's just nothing really open. So for Young, it's a tough situation, although the one good thing that the Panthers have done passing-wise this season is they do pass protect well. Look at this pocket that Young has, and containment has been given up on the bottom of the screen. That is not ideal here by Atlanta. It's Jalen Walker, who didn't play a ton of edge in college. He was supposed to be containing Young toward the bottom of the screen. He went for an inside move. It didn't work. Young's going to take advantage. Watch as Young now is able to get outside the pocket, and here he keeps his eyes downfield, eventually finds that McMillan, who is able to get open. That's just one of those situations where an Atlanta defender stepped in because he saw Bryce Young start to run and wanted to make sure someone was there to tackle him, and Young was able to keep his eyes downfield, gets a touchdown. So, yes, the 448 yards there was some benefit with a big Tommy Tremble play where he kind of ran through the defense in overtime, but he still had just under 400 yards in regulation. So this was still it wasn't all that by any stretch of the imagination. And again, 45 attempts, almost at 10 yards per attempt. It was impressive stuff here from Bryce Young. This is 1st overall pick level stuff. And yeah, if you can get more of this, you don't need this game in and game out, but if you can get more of this, this is absolutely a playoff quality team. They're going to have to beat some playoff quality teams. That's just the situation right now, as there are, with the remaining 6 games on the schedule, 5 of those games will be against teams that are currently in a playoff spot. Tampa Bay twice, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners. That Niners game on Monday Night Football, though, if you win that, you're very much in it here down the stretch. So we'll see what happens. Or if you sweep Tampa Bay, you're in it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.